What's going on, everybody? It's Pacman Jones with Savannah Seaport News. I just want to try something a little bit different today. I got this camera that I've been itching to use, and I got this microphone that I've been had. So I just really want to talk about how I really feel about the Savannah hip hop scene. Lately, I haven't really been posting any Savannah artists lately, and for you guys that are new to my channel, I usually cover Savannah artists because I always wanted to see Savannah artists shine, because that's what I really based my channel off of when I first started. My first video that I covered was the video about Camouflage and Screw and other artists. And it's been going good. Some videos were bad, not because of how I did the video, but because of my terminology that I use. I had some issues with a few artists before that. When I talk about like a street artist, that's somebody that's like, that has, I guess you can say, that is familiar with the streets. When I say like a gangster artist, which was my bad, I did offended one artist like that by saying the words gangster artist, but at the same time, I expect people like to understand that it's entertainment. It's the difference between saying it on records and actually doing it. What you do in your private life, in your spare time, besides being an artist, that's what you do. What I'm saying? I'm not, when I listen to you and I say, this is a gangster artist or whatever, I don't expect for you to be in the bando or in the trap, cooking up yams or, shooting people. I don't expect that from you, what I'm saying? It's entertainment, what I'm saying? So that was like one reason why I kind of like slowed down on my Savannah artists, because I didn't want to like offend people, even though my videos are like, free promotion, what I'm saying? Like when I did my Savannah artist videos, that was just free promotion, what I'm saying? Like, I was doing that because, I love what's coming out of Savannah, what I'm saying? Because what's coming out of Savannah is something unique, it's not something that's coming out of each and every other city, and I have to compare it to Atlanta, because in Atlanta, everybody sounds the same, you dig? In Savannah, it's different, people sound different, people ain't on that mumble rap, people ain't trying to sound like the Migos, let's keep it real, Savannah has its own sound, and I like that, I like that. But I think one of the biggest problems why I feel like Savannah hasn't really caught with like the national scene is because when you think about it, most hip hop scenes within the United States, there's a movement behind it. Go back, years ago when Cali out there had their own little movement, like the Cali swag, hypey, the jerk movement. They had that. You look at Chicago. Chicago had the whole drill movement, even though that drill movement is deadly. What I'm saying? People get killed over that. It's still organic. What I'm saying? Like, it's something that the city created, and it's based off, that music is based off what's happening in the environment. When you look at Atlanta, Atlanta invented the whole trapping, the bando, the whole trap phrase was invented by Atlanta niggas, what I'm saying? Nobody else was saying trap, before that, before Atlanta nigga came up. So when you think about it, a lot of these cities have, movements that's backing up the artists. And Savannah ain't really a movement that's really catching on like that. Even though I seen somebody recently, as another artist that I seen, he's trying to start something, that Gangsta Walkin song. I heard it on the radio once. That's something that's, I guess, trying to get more people into the hip hop scene in Savannah. I think the guy that makes that song, his name is Patrick Bailey. I don't know his rap name. I don't know if that's his real rap name or whatever, but I know that's his name. But there's another artist that has been making a lot of noise in Savannah. There's another artist by the name of Aspen Martin. Now, Aspen Martin, I ain't gonna lie, I heard of him about a few months ago, really back in 2016, I seen, I think, a picture of him on Facebook or something like that. Saying, he was at a video shoot or whatever. I didn't really understand, what was going on. But he got a track out now called End of Discussion, and he's from Savannah, and he's getting a lot of attention. He's getting a lot of plays on air on the radio, which is quite amazing because, let's just face it, E93, 94.1 The Beat, that's the two biggest hip hop radio stations in Savannah. The other one that just started, G100, that really is more so like a old hip hop songs. But those two, E93 and 94, they don't really, I wouldn't say they don't promote hard artists like that, because they do. They do their own thing. But the thing you gotta think about the radio is, it's consumer based. They only want to hear what is popular. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Savannah artists locally aren't popular like that, or like how they think they are. But Aspen Martin is a little different. He got that song called End of Discussion. Pretty dope song. What I've been hearing from other people, that song is on like other radio stations in Tennessee, other places down south in like Florida. There's a video for it. I'll put that link in the description if you want to see it. I mean, it's a good video. What I think about him as an artist, I haven't really listened to him. I haven't really listened to him recently. I haven't really listened to any Savannah artists recently. I haven't really been on my Savannah's artist grind like that. I've been kind of like slowing down on it. Because I want to do interviews. It'd be something similar like this. I have a microphone, camera. I mean, we won't be in my apartment, but it'll be something like this where I could sit you down and talk to you and, ask you maybe like 40 plus questions and make you spit a freestyle at the end. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of want to do that. That's why I really haven't been doing my Savannah artist videos, because I wanted to transition into something different. I didn't want to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. Plus, I mean, it only get me a certain amount of views. I do want, I want my artists to get more exposure. The artists that I cover, I want them to get more exposure. I do. Because I always is down and support a Savannah artist. Whether it's I'm covering a music album, whether if I'm back there in the studio booth recording them. I just want to give them that support, because I just always been in favor of support of Savannah artists. I always like what's coming out of Savannah. And like I said, Savannah is unique. Nobody out of Savannah is sounding like anybody else from anywhere else. So those Savannah artist videos, I don't think I'm gonna do anymore. I think I'm done with those. I just want to do interviews, man. And if you want to hit me up during the interview, you can hit me on my Gmail. I'll put that link in the description. All I gotta do is copy my Gmail and paste it, saying, hey, you can contact me. We could sit down. I just had to plan it on one of my off days because I do work. But yeah, I mean, we'll get to it, man. I do want to touch and reach out to more Savannah artists and see what's going on. But I do love what's coming out of Savannah. I do like the energy that's coming out of the city and what's expected to come, from the artist Aspen Martin, because I think he does have a hit, but being, and this is not about Savannah artists. This is just about rap in general. It used to be about who was the best artist, who was the most lyrical, who was, who could spit the most bars to you. Now you just got to be the most relevant. You got to be posting videos, every other month of you, a music video. You got to be relevant. You got to be on the scene. You got to be out there. That's how the rap game transferred and changed. You got to be. It's not about being the best anymore. You just got to be the most relevant. There's a lot of people that's out in the mainstream hip hop that I feel like that aren't the best. That I feel like that there's Savannah artists that have that hunger to be a major artist like that. But I mean, there's a lot of artists, major artists, that I feel like aren't better than some Savannah artists, But it's just the fact that they're more relevant, and their name is just more ringing. So I do. I mean, there's good hope with Savannah as far as the hip hop scene. Also, I want to address Flau'jae. Flau'jae is thing about her is she has like her audience is more so people who listen to Camouflage. You know what I'm saying? So that and also, but I mean, she's also growing an audience of her own. She was just in Savannah at a little, I guess, a little kid concert, I guess in Pooler or something somewhere around there, where I believe Detronata and King Roscoe came. But Flau'jae, she has a good future in the hip hop scene. She has a bright future. She was doing shows way before the rap game, ever the show was ever existed. So, I mean, the show is really helping her out. It really is. As far as establishing her content as an artist and her flows and her rap structure. She's growing as an artist. She really is. I see that on every Friday. When the show comes on. I believe the last episode will air this Friday. But I do a response video for the finale of the rap game, I guess in another video. But that's all for right now. It's Pacman Jones with Savannah Seaport News, and I'm out.